The West Africa trade corridors flow over 3,000 miles from Senegal to Nigeria and points in between. USAID and its partners are embracing a commons approach to improve agriculture markets along these corridors. By promoting collaboration through new technologies, the open approach of the commons can help link producers to markets, provide farmers with high-yield inputs, and enable traders to access market pricing information.
Africa needs to be developed, need to fight poverty and hunger. The best way to do it is to make alliance with the African people, to let them lead their own development, because we know what we need.
The African Union articulated the need for transnational trade corridors in its comprehensive African Agricultural Development Program, or CAADP.
CAADP as a whole is a real framework to develop agriculture. Pillar 2 also is raising all the matter of infrastructure to be sure that we can carry goods from one point to another.
Responding to this need, USAID and partners are connecting agricultural producers to markets, helping to improve food security in the region.
There's a lot of potential in trade in West Africa. Estimates go up to $20 billion, which is 50 times more than what we have right now.
The overland transport cost to move a ton of goods is the highest in West Africa of anywhere else in the developing world. Our main focus has been to work with civil society organizations, non-governmental organizations, in trying to identify barriers to trade, such as unofficial stops by government and other officials, where truck drivers are harassed or are forced to pay bribes.
And then these barriers charges prices that we pay before we can pass with our onions. Knowing very well that onions are perishable goods and they can get spoiled.
To help enhance regional trade, USAID is developing innovative mapping technologies to link food insecure areas with areas of high agricultural production and eliminate barriers to trade between them.
Information is a key issue. Before moving good, you have to know who needs this good, where you have to move your good, what is the prices of market. This is also information system.
Rice is an important staple across West Africa, but Liberia produces relatively little. This mapping technology shows that there are many optimal areas for rice production. It also shows how infrastructure investments can link farmers in these areas to regional markets. In a commons, leading universities and regional associations like the Africa Rice Center, or WARDA, are collaborating to share emerging science and new technologies in staple food products like rice.
I think it's very important to put more emphasis on the importance of rice in Africa.
The Global Development Commons helps to move the latest innovations out of the laboratory and into the field.
NERICA is the acronym for New Rice for Africa.
The impact of NERICA can be seen everywhere in Africa, in every country that we've taken the NERICAs. In all of those countries, we've got much higher yield. With this level of production, then Africa is saving something like $100 million, which otherwise would have gone into the importation of crops from Thailand and from China and from other places.
Ultimately, the Global Development Commons empowers people with information. TradeNet is an enterprising private firm in West Africa that puts market pricing information into the hands of ordinary farmers and traders.
TradeNet is an innovation. We're using technology to help people within markets move information around faster and more cheaply. It's particularly important in rural areas because often you'll find producers are at quite some disadvantage in terms of selecting a price or knowing what kind of price to set for their product.
A farmer on his farm harvests, let's say, 500 kilograms of maize and wishes to find prospects. So what he does is that he'll pick his mobile phone and send a text message. So let's say I have MAIW to sell, maize white to sell. And immediately our system receives this message on a GSM modem, processes it, and looks for all prospective buyers across Africa.
So we're finding that really what we're building is a technology platform that is really a rural computing platform where you're just facilitating the move of information, and the information can be any kind of information, not just price data, but it can also be microfinance. It can also be health information. It could even be government information. So we're seeing all of these applications emerging that could be plugged into a platform like TradeNet.
The challenges of long-term food security require an innovative approach. The Global Development Commons empowers people to find solutions and prosper in the global marketplace. South Asia's monsoon season brings dangerous floods. Bangladesh, for example, sits on the floodplains of 4 major rivers, where the world's largest river delta is the source of fertile land, but also perilous floodwaters that threaten crops, homes, and lives.
During the flood time, you see the vulnerable people, they just want to know whether in the coming 2 or 3 days water level will be rising or falling. If we can just disseminate this information to them, then they can save their children to face the disaster, to fight the disaster.
বন্যার পূর্বাভাস না পাওয়ার কারণে আমরা এই বন্যায় পানিতে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হয়ে গেছিলাম, কারণ আমরা সতর্ক না পাওয়ার কারণেই তো আমরা ওই আবদ্ধ অবস্থায় ছিলাম বা উঁচু জায়গায় স্থানান্তর হতে পারিনি। এটা আমাদের জানা ছিল না মনে করে আমরা এই কষ্টময় বোধ করছি।
To respond to this challenge, USAID and its partners are embracing a commons approach to improve disaster preparedness and food security in Bangladesh. The approach is characterized by better collaboration and advanced mapping tools.
Advanced mapping tools in the context of Bangladesh food aid are very important on a very basic level to prevent duplication and overlap of implementation areas.
I'm heading up a team that focuses on vulnerability analysis and mapping and risk reduction to disasters. The objective is to invest in a knowledge base of information about hunger and food security and malnutrition issues. All the information in the database is associated with a latitude and a longitude, so we know where that information is coming from.
We've mapped out the country a number of different ways, and we actually divided the implementation areas up between World Food Program, World Vision, Save the Children, and CARE.
CARE Bangladesh operates a food security program funded by USAID. Its flood forecasting component, called CFAB, for Climate Forecast Application in Bangladesh, is already revolutionizing disaster preparedness in the country. CFAB is a good example of the commons approach.
CFAB is definitely one of the major innovations with Bangladesh. It's a system which allows us to predict 10 days ahead of time with a high level of accuracy the amount of flood or potential flood waters that's going to be rising.
Fulchari Upajila, one of CFAB's pilot locations, is right in the floodwaters path.
We have sensors which is placed at the borders of the Ganges and the Brahmaputra, which is in the north and northwest of the country.
When the sensors detect rising waters, they trigger a response that warns people downstream.
To get that information out to the communities, we employ the SMS technology. It's an automated system and it goes out to as an SMS text to all the different people.
উড়ি ইউনিয়নে 5টা পয়েন্ট আছে, 5টা পয়েন্টে 5টা পতাকা যে ফ্ল্যাগ উত্তোলনের জন্য পয়েন্ট আছে, সেখানে এটা যারা অপারেট করে তাদের মাধ্যমে 5টা পতাকা সেখানে উড়ানো হয়। যদি বন্যা বাড়ে তাহলে ওই যে নীল পতাকা সেখানে উড়ে, কারণ যখন আমরা পূর্বাভাস পাই তখন আমরা মিটিংয়ে এটা সভা করি আমাদের জনগণকে ওইভাবে তাদের সিকিউরিটি, তাদের সেফ, তাদের মানে নিরাপত্তার জন্য প্রয়োজনীয়।
With CFAB, Bangladesh has increased its flood forecasting from 3 to 10 days, providing Bangladeshis with the tools they need to prepare for disasters and protect their families.
At first, we have to face a lot of challenges because this is a new information system which we are disseminating in the community. Nowadays, we are successful because they are believing us, and what we are forecasting to them, they are acting with our forecast.
And we have tested our outputs and results, and we got the wonderful result. The result is that we have got the dependable forecast.
বন্যার সতর্কীকরণ আমরা যেটা পাচ্ছি তাতে আমরা জীবনের অনেক উন্নতি হচ্ছে, সেটা সতর্ক হচ্ছে। আমরা পূর্বাভাসের জন্য উঁচু জায়গা স্থানান্তর হতে পারছি, উঁচু জায়গায় গরু ছাগল রাখতে পারছি।
The Global Development Commons will equip Bangladeshis to share other vital information in health, education, or microfinance to improve their own lives. Around the world, USAID is seeking partners to revolutionize development by promoting collaboration through innovative technologies.